Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today we will talk about database management system and how we can write a code, how we can store data, what is information, what is database, what is database management system. So we will talk about that. So let's start. The first thing that comes in our mind, that is data, that what actually the data is. So let's see what is data. So data means information, and it is the most important component in any work that is done. Okay, so for processing we need data. In computer science there are two things, one is data and other is information. And data is if we are giving something to computer for processing, that is called as our data. Okay, it can be any information such as information about vehicles, sports, airways, and it can be information about schools, hospitals, bankings, anything. And data in the context of databases refers to all the single items that are stored in a database, either individually or as a set. Like in terms of database, data is the thing that we store, either it can be individually or it can be a collection. Okay, data in a database is primarily stored in database tables, which are organized into columns. So we create a database, and in that we create tables, in that we create columns, different data types, and different columns in which we have data of different data types. We can store the information about students, like in varchar we can store the names of the students, and number, and we can use integer for storing the numbers of the students. For grades we can use integer, and different things. We will talk about that in detail. Data, even in a database, is rarely useful in its raw form. For example, in a banking application, data is the whole collection of bank account numbers, bank customers, names, addresses, and ages, bank transactions, and so on. What is raw form? Which means raw form means there is not a complete meaning of it, and the column in which we do computations cannot be stored in a database. Like we have a grades of students, grades, we have a marks of students, and we have to calculate the percentage. So we cannot calculate the percentage in database management system. We just have a collection of information about the grades and marks, and names of the students, numbers of the students, and addresses, and anything. But we cannot do computations in a database. Okay, after that there is database. What is database? So a database is a collection of data. Okay, the collection of data, which means I told you about that we have a database of school. So there is a collection of data. We have many students, many teachers working in that, and we have different things in it. We have hospitals in which we have patients, we have doctors, we have nurses, we have a lot of things that are in hospitals, in schools, in banking systems. And in banking system we do transactions, we do different things in it. So we store the data of that. Okay, a database is a collection of data that is organized such that its contents can be easily accessed, managed, and updated. Like we have to store data of bank, school, or another. So we cannot store them at the same place because they all will be mixed up. So we will create different database so we can manage it. It is like a folders. We create a different folders, and we create a different tables, and we add the data so we can update them, we can manage them, we can delete the data, we can access the data easily. A phone book is a database, and after that the data contained consists of individual names, addresses, and telephone numbers. Like I told you before that we can have a database of hospital in which we can store the patient numbers, names, addresses in different columns with different data types. And the other thing is a database is an organized collection of structured information or data, typically stored electronically in a computer system. And we store our database using different softwares. We will talk about that. A database is usually controlled by a database management system. And database management system, what is that? I will talk about that also. Together, the data and the database management system, along with the application that are associated with them, are referred to as a database system, often shortened to just database. So as we use different applications for that, to store our data, to retrieve our data, update that, delete that, manage it, and we use different applications. Okay. And after that, there is a thing that why we study database. It is clear to all of you that what is database, and you can see that why database is important and why we study it. Why we study it? Because we have to store a large amount of data. Here it is written that to manage large chunks of data, yes, you can store data into a spreadsheet, but if you add large chunks of data into the sheet, it will simply not work. So if we have a large amount of data, as in banks, in hospitals, in schools, and in store management system, and in inventory system, we have a lot of data that we cannot manage it easily. So we use database for that. Databases are useful, and many computing applications deals with large amounts of information. Database management systems give a set of tools for storing, searching, and managing this information. If we have to search information of a particular thing, so we use database to find out. Okay. It is easy for us to search that particular thing, to store that particular thing. If you have to update something, so we can do it easily by using database. And how we can do that, I will talk about that. Okay. And computer science, it is a core topic. Basic concepts and skills with database systems are part of the skill set you will be assumed to have us as a CS graduate. Okay. Different databases. Here there's list of different databases in which there is web indexes, library catalogs, medical records, bank accounts, stock control, and product catalogs, telephone directories. In libraries, we have a lot of books, a lot of students, and a lot of people come and they okay, got it. Okay, there is a database systems. What is database systems? We talked about database, we talked about data. So now let's see that what is database system. And database system consists of four things. That is, first is data, second is hardware, third is software, and the fourth is user. We focus mainly on the software because we do all the coding in it. We store our data. All the things that we do personally is software. Okay, So database systems allows user to store, update, retrieve, organize, and protect their data. So the main thing is that these four, that what the database system is consist of is this. Database, we should have a database and a software. To store database, we obviously need a software, and to store a large amount of data, we need a hardware. If we have to store data of 500 GB, so there should be a space in it so that we can store our database. And at the end, we need users who will use the software. Okay, and these are the things that the database allow users to do, that they can store, update, retrieve, organize, and protect their data. After that, here are some of the users of database. First one is end users. End users, what they do, use the database system to achieve some goal. So end users are the one that uses the database. After that, there are application developers. They write software to allow end users to interface with the database systems. Basically, they connect database to application, and they execute queries. And the third, we have a database administrator, DBA. They design and manages the database system, that what will our database will be consist of, what will be in our database, what will be the structure of that, and it is on the top level. And they create the whole structure of that what will be in it, what kind of data will be in it, and how we will manage it, what data will be in which column. So they will create all the designing of it. And after that, there is database system programmer, and they write the database software itself, the coding of the database, the queries, and the tables, the columns, and everything, data types, all that thing are done by database programmers. The database we create is done by systems programmer. Okay, there we have a data management. Data management deals with managing large amount of information. These are all the same things with small differences. And data management is an administrative process that includes acquiring, validating, storing, protecting, and processing required data to ensure the accessibility, reliability, and timelines of the data for its users. Data management is like what is the validity of database, and how we can store it, how we can protect it, and the processing of the data, and the reliability and timelines of the data for its users. And after that, there is what is database management systems. Database is a collection of information. A database management system is a software that controls that information. So we use different softwares for that. That includes Oracle and MS SQL Server and MS SQL and different softwares. Here we will use MS SQL Server for coding, and we will see how we can write queries, how we can update, delete data, and different things. So now let's see that how we can create a database and how we can store data in it, and how we can create tables and different data types. So let's start. So you can download the SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server, by the website. So let's start. First you have to download the SQL server from Google, and you can easily download it from Microsoft website. After that, you can see this in front. From that, you can click on this new query. So this empty page will come in front, and after that you can create a database. There are different things in this database. Your database will be stored. So first, let's create a database. You will write create database. Name it school management system. Okay, so let's check the query. We'll check the query by this parse. After this command is not executed yet, we are just checking it. Now you can execute it. Okay, so here the command is successfully completed. In database, you will see your database in this. So here you will refresh from this. Okay, so by refreshing it, you will see the database is created in this, that is named as a school management system. Here you can see school management system. It is created in this project. So the command is successfully created. Now you will write the command use database. Use school management system. Okay. So just execute this command only, because if you will not select this thing, you will see the error in it. Okay, if you will execute this, this will say that database school management system already exists, because it will be executed multiple times, because I have executed it before. So the database is already created. If I will execute it now, it will show the error that it already exists. You cannot create the database multiple times. So you have to select it, and after that you have to execute. Okay, so this command is successfully completed. After that, how to create tables in it. So let's see. You will write create table, named students. Okay, and students, and in brackets you will write the column name with its data type, ID, integer. Okay, ID will be integer, like 1, 2, 3. You will store in it ID. Okay, so if we have to store name, you will write name of a student with varchar. We use varchar for the strings. So here in varchar, after that you will write two brackets, round brackets, and it you will write the length of the varchar. So I'll write the 50 length. Okay, so the table is created. You will select this line and you will execute it. So the command is successfully completed. Okay, so now let's see that how we can insert the data in it. So we will write insert into students. After that you will write values by using round brackets. We will insert the record in it. Okay, so write the ID, anything, like I will write 1. After that we have to write the name of the student, so let's write Alex. Okay, so by using these brackets you can write your data in it. After that you will execute the command so that it so that it will be inserted, executed. Here you can see that it shows 1 row is affected. So now let's see that how we can show the record. So you will write select, you will write this asterisk sign, which means all. Select all from students. So it will show all the data that is in students. Okay, so here you can see the column name ID is created. After that, the second column name is name created. After that, we have inserted the data that is 1 and the name of the student is Alex. So here you can see the first ID is 1 and the name is Alex. Let's insert another record. This is already inserted. So let's write another one, 2. So it will insert to other records, Alex and Harry. Alex will be inserted second time because we have already executed it. So now I am executing it second time. So it will be shown in the table 2 times. Here you can see 2 rows affected. When you will execute this command, you will see 3 records. One, the previous one, and this one that we executed this time. Okay. So that was all about that how we can create a database, how we can create a tables, and how we can create a columns. Here you can see we have created the column ID and name, and how we can insert record in it, and how we can show the record that we have written in our database, stored in our database. And in the next class we will see that how we can use primary key and foreign key and different relations of tables, and we will also create a database of school management system, banking management system. So in the next class we will see all this. I hope it is clear to all of you. If you have any question, if you have any assignment, so you can ask me in the comments. I will see you in the next tutorial. Make sure to subscribe my channel, like my video, and share it to everyone. Thank you.